Everyone's talking about AI, but who's actually implementing it? I'm Jenna Ahern, the CEO of Guardian Owl Digital, a search engine marketing firm rooted in integrity and transparency in the digital age. AI and marketing are at a crossroads, and the technology is moving faster than most business leaders can keep up with. That's why we created Go AI, a podcast series where we interview leaders in various industries about all things artificial intelligence. With each guest, my co-host Connor Rafferty and I will explore the applications that this rapidly evolving technology has for business leaders and their industries. Let's go AI. Welcome back to the Go AI podcast. We are thrilled to introduce our next guest, Sherry Duffy. Sherry is the Director of Learning of the Digital Transformation Center for the University of Louisville. Sherry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. And that is a mouthful to try to remember, isn't it? At the University of Louisville, no department or program has a very simple name. We have to complicate it. So the Digital Transformation Center was started with President Ben Deputy and Dr. Sharon Carrick. Dr. Carrick is the Assistant Vice President for the University of Louisville for the Digital Transformation Center. And it was their brainchild with Dr. Andrew Wright and Dr. Adel Almagrabi to create a place at U of L where we could get tech vendors' materials and then be able to take those micro learnings that are on the tech vendor sites and put them into courses. So that's how we started. This was all about how do we move our student population forward and our faculty, right, with technology so that we weren't left behind.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Thinking. Yeah,
I do too.
How many years ago?
Don't quote me on this, but I believe this was right as COVID was starting, so about 5 years ago. I came back to U of L. Dr. Carrick brought me back in. I had taken a sabbatical and had been at U of L since 2008. And said, Sharon, I need to be back with my people. University of Louisville is my people. That's where I graduated. And I was fascinated with what they were doing. So before I came on, they had received a large NSA grant for cybersecurity, a national cybersecurity grant, to take and create this learning and certificates in cybersecurity across the nation. But it wasn't just developed by Dr. Andrew Wright and Dr. Adel Almagrabi and Dr. Sharon Carrick. It was created by cybersecurity experts across the nation at multiple universities. Wow. And they created this comprehensive program that folks can go through online and come out and have this certification in cybersecurity to move forward in their jobs. Wow. And they were specifically targeting military, veterans, first responders, people that were going to be probably moving out at about, 35, 40, and moving into different careers.
Sure.
And then we also inherited from another department something where we're putting through Sec Plus trainings, multiple. It's called ITCP.
Okay.
So there again, it's short bursts of online learning that lead to certificates so folks can upskill and reskill.
So define short bursts because to me, again, I'm going to be 37. It was 4-year degree or 2-year. You're mentioning these short bursts where they can kind of get certified and then possibly transition into a different skill or a different, just complete industry position.
Yeah, so think of us as multi-pronged.
Okay.
So we're trying to put in technology into courses at U of L. So let's say that you're going to come out with an art history degree at the University of Louisville. When you started as a freshman, 4 years later, what technology you learned is completely obsolete.
Yes.
So if you are going through and you're not keeping up with your technology skills, you're not marketable in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not picking on art history. I have several friends who have art history degrees and they've made an amazing living. But it was just an example of how you can come through. Even if you come out with a marketing degree, if they're not teaching tech skills through there, we can help them put in these short bursts of learning from industry leaders, IBM, Adobe. We have the full Adobe suite at U of L. So that's for internal of U of L. The two programs that I was talking to you about is pretty much external to the university's student body.
Okay.
This is for the national stage. And then we have a local program called Digital Literacy Train the Trainer. If you see your Metro Council person, if you live in Louisville, Kentucky, please make sure you thank them for funding this program. You'll know why I say that when I finish, and I'll describe it briefly.
Oh, no, I'm excited. Dive
It's
in.
fun.
Yes.
It's so much fun. It's the best part of my job. So me and two other trainers, we go out in the community. We find people who want to upskill and reskill their technology skills. And we take 4 technology skills and we've put it into an 8-week program. It's online, but they have to meet us so that we can see them on the camera in Microsoft Teams at least once a week to keep them motivated to finish. So when they learn these 4 technology skills, they in turn have to train 10 other people in Metro Louisville, Kentucky, and they will earn a stipend of $500. So there's an incentive to finish. Plus, you've got one of us, me or one of our 2 other trainers who are amazing, pushing them saying, hey, wait a minute, I haven't seen you this week. Are you getting your work done?
Which, I mean, so many people need that in order to execute, right, their goals, a coach, an advisor.
Yes.
So you're there supporting them, nurturing them through that journey, and then they can pay it forward to other people in the community.
Yes, and it's that exponential factor. So if we reach this 200 goal, then you've got 2,000 people in Metro Louisville who have upgraded their skills. I'll give you 2 examples. One, a failure that isn't a failure, and one that is a massive success story. One person who has been in multiple cohorts of this program here in Louisville, he's very special and dear to my heart, and he has not finished the program.
Okay.
But he found a job because he knew how to upload documents because he was in our program. He could upload documents that he needed to put into an email back to an employer. He's since lost the job. I've run into him again. He's got another job, but he keeps coming back, and he has finished now all the technology skills. He just doesn't have the confidence to do the training. So that's my next step. So I've been working with him for about a year and a half. So that's a failure that's a win, right?
Yes,
It's a
absolutely.
win for our community. It's a win for him.
And it sounds like he's feeling forward. Like
He is
you know what I
failing
mean?
forward.
Which is what everyone needs to do.
We all fail.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't like to.
Just keep going. First of all, this is incredible work. I want to learn more about it. I want to just loop back to, our audience is business owners, mostly in the community. And you mentioned after 4 years, even if you're coming out with a marketing or business degree from the University of Louisville, the technology you're learning or the jobs you're interviewing for, you might not be familiar with that. And as someone who has hired students right out of college, I'm amazed that, little things like not understanding how to get on Microsoft Teams, or you mentioned the Adobe suite, not even knowing what that is. And that's a very well-known vertical within our digital marketing sphere. And so you saying that was music to my ears, because ultimately, I know a lot of business owners here in this community want students that graduate at U of L. I want to hire U of L students, and I want them to stay in our community and continue to give back. And so you talking about that and being able to give them those sprints to help them maintain their knowledge of technology throughout college is unbelievable. I didn't know that was even there.
We are fortunate at U of L that we have faculty that are committed to ensuring that when our students leave, they are workforce ready. And one of the aspects of that is technology. So I can't be everywhere and everything to everybody, and another faculty person can't be everything and to everybody. I think that's something that makes U of L special, is that we recognize the strengths that each person, every faculty person, every staff person brings in, and we try to pull it into a collective so that we ensure when we're sending these humans out into the world that they leave us, that diploma matters, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the 10 essential skills that the Council on Post-Secondary Education put out, but we just did a large taste of technology at U of L, and we focused the whole day in this taste of technology on those 10 essential skills. LinkedIn Learning came in, and they helped me curate all of the content in LinkedIn Learning that maps to the 10 essential skills. So faculty can then, instead of them spending hours going through all of that material, it's already packaged for them and they can choose.
That's a great example. That's incredible.
As far as just getting students ready for the workforce by teaching them new technologies and just what they need to know, what has been the approach with AI, which is one of the fastest developing technologies in recent history?
I know. It's warp speed, isn't it? I know. We go to bed one day and we wake up and the world is a different world the next day as it relates to artificial intelligence. We teach AI in the Digital Literacy Train the Trainer program.
Oh, wow.
And I went to, do you all remember, it was just like 2 months ago when ChatGPT started creating PowerPoint slides on the free version?
Yes.
And then they also started citing material.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it happened overnight. And so I go in to train, and Kevin Fields from Louisville Central Community Center walked in. If you all don't know him, you will. He's fabulous.
We will drop him in the notes.
You will. He came to class. He chose, since he was putting this on at Louisville Central Community Center, that he would join the program. So I asked him to highlight to the fellow learners in that class his ChatGPT. And when he stood up, I went, no way. Because he asked it to create his slides. And here I am, the facilitator, and it happened overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So, good to your point, I think U of L is doing a really nice job overall. So the Delphi Center for Teaching and Learning hosts a website that has all kinds of information for faculty, staff, and students on artificial intelligence. For my classes, I teach human resources and several other classes at U of L. I've created a module that goes through how students can use AI in my course, and how that I want them to cite it.
I love that. So you are telling them, or you're wanting them to utilize AI.
I'm saying, please use it. This tool is amazing. And I also tell them, I use it enough to know when I'm reading it. So
make it your own.
Typically, I can tell. Now, I'm not an expert, but I think I'm decent. And most students, they want to do the right thing. Very few of them are trying not to do that. But why would we not teach students to use the tool that the minute they walk out of the university, their employer's going to say, which AI tool have you been using, or which one do you think our company should use?
Well, and you have these companies now that are putting policies in place for certain tools. Hey, we utilize this one. You can use Gemini, Copilot. So depending on their enterprise AI policy, that student may come in and have to learn a different one if they haven't been using it. And so your ability to have at least been able to be a practitioner of one tool will hopefully help you transfer those skills to another one that's very similar.
Well, the lack of guardrails and the inherent bias of AI, the selling to third-party vendors, depending upon which tool you're using, right? I think that we all need to know that. And that's something in the Digital Literacy Train the Trainer program that we're doing in the community that we really want community members to know. Because you do not want your grandma, your mother, your sister, whomever, putting their personal information into ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Right? They need to understand that they sell to third-party vendors. But we use ChatGPT to teach. And the reason is because ChatGPT allows us to dump a large data set into it that we could not do in the free version of Power BI, of Microsoft Copilot. Not that we think ChatGPT is the be-all to end-all. It just happens to allow me, because what we do in the course is we ask folks to create a cover letter that they would use for a job advertisement. And then we ask for them to give it to us in multiple ways. So what type of, are you a marketing major?
Yes, I was. Business marketing.
So, oh my gosh. So then you know that there's so many ways that you can craft this cover letter. You know, do you want it to be persuasive? Do you want it to be professional? How do you want your persona to come across? Are you interviewing with somebody that you already know? Are you already in the company? that you're interviewing for the next job, or is this a brand new person?
And what's the culture of that company? Like
Exactly.
a little more rigid,
So
professional? Yeah.
we can't do that in a free version of several other products.
Makes sense.
But they need to know what are the pitfalls. Another example of a learner teaching me is I never thought to introduce myself to ChatGPT.
Yes.
And this learner told me she sells products here in Louisville, Kentucky, and she was creating marketing material. And she said, I'm an African American woman. I am 52 years old. My target audience for XXX product is such and such person, African American, da 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 da. And she went on and then she created it. But she also has a large products for Asian community.
Oh, wow.
And so she redid it again from that
For that
standpoint.
lens.
So she uses the terms Afrocentric when she's talking to ChatGPT. I never would have thought to have done that.
That's
Isn't
brilliant.
that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Prompt engineering right there. You got to learn, just the more specific you are with your prompts with the AI, the more specific the output will be. And so we actually interviewed someone who's doing a prompt engineering course recently. That's a big, big part for students to learn is, it's all about how you ask it as much as what you're asking for in terms of getting that result.
Yeah,
from
not
AI.
just students, everybody.
Oh, yeah. For anyone working with AI in their job,
Yes.
prompt engineer.
So going back to, say it again, it was the Train for Trainers.
It's the Digital Literacy Train the Trainer program. We call it DLT3.
Okay, DLT3. So was this modeled after another university program? When did it start? Tell us a little bit about this, because this is fascinating to me that this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
We are so excited about it. And this is the brainchild of Dr. Sharon Carrick.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And, how you uplift and reskill and upskill individuals, and you do it exponentially by having other people train.
Okay.
That is her model. If you know her, she's
yes, I met her.
tenacious.
She's amazing.
Yes, she is tenacious. She is brilliant. And she recognized that how much more work we can get done by utilizing our individuals in our community right here with us. I mean, I've given you several examples of how the community has taught me. Can you imagine when they're in cohorts of, say, 30 people, and they get online and there's 10, 15 of them online, and they're talking back and forth with one another, the energy and the ability, the self-confidence that they're building in their tech skills.
Yeah.
And we talked earlier, you cannot get by without having tech skills. I don't care how old you are. You have to have some technology skills to move in this world these days.
What would you say, again, a lot of our listeners are older and afraid of change, especially when it comes to AI and incorporating this technology, not just in their job or their position, but in their personal life. And, I see you, and not only are you integrating it, you're teaching it, you're learning from others around you. What would you have to say to those that are held back and scared of this technology?
AI has made it so simple. You're not coding, right? Not only that, we have to take a step back from artificial intelligence, teaching artificial intelligence. We have to understand that we've kind of left a community behind. So I mentioned earlier that, my husband had a dictaphone and a secretary. So using the computer wasn't second nature to him. My mother goes and uses MyChart, tries to use MyChart. And then all of our medical world assumes that everybody that comes into an office knows how to work a keyboard, and they know how to attach documents. We have found in the Digital Literacy Train the Trainer program, the most difficult thing for individuals to do is downloading and uploading documents into an email. And we found out that students are coming out of our high schools with Chromebooks, and they're not accustomed to uploading and downloading documents.
That makes so much sense.
Yes. And they're not strongly adept at research on the computer, is what we're seeing in this course that we're
Sure.
teaching right now. But something as simple as Microsoft Forms or Google Forms. So I told you I was going to tell you a good win-win story with the Digital Literacy Train the Trainer program. One of our first cohorts had a lady in it, and I went to her training, and she worked for a federal government program that sees a lot of consumers come in the door,
Okay.
people that really need help. So they're going from agency to sign up for help for different assistance, right? And then they were having them do that on paper. Or the person behind the desk, like this lady, she was typing it in and asking every person that came in the door the same questions. And it's exhausting
Sure.
from both parties, lest we forget how humiliating it can be when you're asking for assistance to have to say the same thing over and over to somebody who's so tired from hearing the same thing over and over that you can't get to the humanity that you need to get to.
Sure.
She took Microsoft Forms and created a QR code, and it sits on every one of their desks at this is a local federal office now, and it has changed, completely transformed how that office does business. So now,
A free tool, Google for
free tool, and these beautiful conversations now can occur between somebody who desperately needs assistance and somebody who desperately wants to give it.
I love that.
Isn't that a
was
great
that was
win-win
beautiful.
story?
That was, yes, that is a great story.
It's my
And
favorite
it's
story.
simple. Like, it's really, the technology's there and it's not as scary once you're actually using it.
Yes.
What are some of the skills that people come to this program for? Like, what are the most common requests to say, like, hey, I need help learning how to do this?
AI.
AI.
AI. That's the number one thing. And then we've recently, like most programs, a lot of it is word of mouth. So now I'm getting a lot of emails that say, what is that program for seniors? What is that tech program for seniors? And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm a senior.
All right. Yeah.
I can help you.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. So you had mentioned earlier before we got on the podcast about an example was coal miners in Appalachian and how those jobs, when they were halted, that there was this transition to teach them how to code. Are you doing anything? You mentioned in AI, you don't have to code anymore. So how are you seeing people utilize these programs to then go and create a new career for themselves?
Well, I think that's where the ITCP program comes in.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that the listeners have access to all of these tools. And these courses aren't free. ITCP is Sec Plus and different types of technology training that would pay a much higher job than, say, a coding job would.
Okay.
We need to make sure that folks are able to make living wages in the state of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And so we're hopeful that this cybersecurity program and ITCP will reach across Western and Eastern Kentucky, where we have such a great need for living wage jobs, that they can come out with these certificates. I'm not negating that people need a 4-year degree. I'm a firm believer in higher education. I work for higher education. Sure. I love it. It's my lifeblood. Keeps me moving. But if we can come out with these certificates, think about the people that we have that are in under-resourced areas. And if they can get some technology skills, it may spark that desire to say, I have this certificate in cybersecurity, but you know what? I can become an engineer.
Yeah.
I know I can. I'm smart enough. This was easy for me. And there's going to be folks that do that. There's going to be folks who say, no, this is enough for me. This is getting me exactly what I need for employment. But we want to make sure that we have all of those options. So the Digital Transformation Center, we're serving faculty, staff, and students by embedding technology. Micro-credentials is a term that I think everybody needs to become accustomed to because it's lifelong learning. And it's short bursts of learning that has workforce skills.
I love that.
And then we want to be out in the community, right? We want to be nationally out with the cybersecurity program, ITCP program, And then we always want to serve Louisville with our digital literacy train the trainer program. Don't forget to thank your council person.
I was just going to say, we will drop that again in the comments. Name your favorite council person. You had also mentioned we left a community behind in the sense that, technology, I'm paraphrasing, but, AI changes. It feels like daily. It's probably every 2 weeks. There's just this big change, significant change. Are you seeing a lack of self-confidence around technology keep people from just trying to be practitioners on their own? Or how does self-confidence affect the learning within this program?
That is my job with the digital literacy train the trainer program, is convincing people that they have what they need to move forward, that they are smart enough to move this forward. The example that we talked about earlier with going into a hospital that had changed to all electronics, and the folks that are trying to help them are so frustrated. There's a gap. Yeah. We have a major gap. So our healthcare industry has moved forward with technology, but they don't realize that the population they serve, the patients, hasn't. They have not moved forward. If somebody would give me a pocket of money, I would love to get an empty MyChart account, an empty one that I could play with and teach seniors how to use MyChart, how to walk into a facility and fill out the iPad. And when I say seniors, I'm not just talking about 80-year-olds.
No, yeah.
I'm talking about people that are 50. Mm-hmm. You've worked in an industry, a factory all your life, and then you get to retire at 55, or let's say you're a police officer. How much technology are you using? Some of them a lot, but some of them not. Yep. And then we expect them to be savvy, right? So tech-savvy seniors, be looking for it. That's the next thing we're going to be looking for funding for is tech-savvy seniors, and we need a MyChart in it.
I am all for that.
Me too.
What are some of the messages that you found are the most successful to getting people over that self-confidence block?
Short wins, very short wins. So we start with Microsoft Teams, and I need to back up. We start with orientation.
Okay. Building their confidence there.
That's building their confidence, right? To become a vendor at the University of Louisville to receive that $500, that's a major accomplishment because you have to upload a W-9 form, right? You have to fill it out, sign it electronically, get it back into your computer if they've chosen to sign it with ink, and then submit that into U of L. So we walk them through that in multiple steps, and that's a small win, right? That really builds your confidence when you can do that. And then we move right into Microsoft Teams, but we make sure that we let people know if you can use a virtual collaboration tool like Microsoft Teams, you can use Zoom.
Yep.
You can use WebEx. You can talk to your doctor on whatever platform they're using. Once you get used to the clicks, right, and what you're looking for on that format, you remove some of that angst because they build that up in their head before they start.
Of course.
I can't do it.
How am I going to learn all of this? And you're right. I mean, it's like different brands, but once you really understand one, it's easy that to transfer that to whether it's Google Meet, WebFX, BlueJeans, etc. I mean, there's so many out there.
Power BI is the same way. They're not going to leave our program a data analyst. And that's one of the first things I tell them in the information session is you're not going to come out a data analyst, but you're going to learn enough about data analytics to know, hey, I'm really good at this and I want to know more. Yeah. And so we show them the free resources, the free micro credentials, short bursts of learning that they can take, and they can go to our webpage to get that. Now, we won't pay for their certification in data analytics, but we pay for everything up to that. And it's not paid, it's all free.
Yeah.
So we need them to know the language, because what happens if they go to work for a company and they say, have you ever heard of Tableau? We'd like for you to use Tableau, which is a data analytics tool. And if they come out of our program, they're going to go, I think I remembered Sherry or Lakeisha or Alicia saying that, but we were using Power BI. And they can say, no, but I know a little bit of the language about data analytics.
Let me try it on my own. Let me kick it around for a little bit. I'm sure I can acclimate.
Yes.
Yeah. And just that, being able to confidently say, okay, well, I know this. So it's very similar. So that confidence to be able to go in and be a practitioner and learn on your own and kind of self-develop alongside the online resources that you're giving them and the internet provides. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm very fortunate.
Circling back to people coming to the program to learn about AI, what are you all teaching them about AI and how they should use it?
The first thing that I like to make sure that they know is that there's a lack of guardrails on it. I use the term Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's so true. It is. They keep using that.
It's the Wild Wild West. And I also want them to know that it's inherently biased because we all are. So AI is nothing more than human knowledge. And there isn't a human on this earth who isn't biased in some way, shape, or form. So how can we expect AI? You know, Governor Bashir likes to say we have to, what does he say? How does he say it? It's beautiful. We need to stop using fancy language. Now, I
agree with
I don't
that.
think he says that, but we say AI hallucinates. And I always tell the folks in DLT3, I said, we don't need to use that word. We need to say it lies.
It lies. It makes things up. Yeah.
Let's use our Kentucky lingo and say it lies.
Exactly. It's true. It's true.
It makes things up. So we go over specific instances. I use Barbie.com. If you don't know that, look up the story, not the website.
Okay.
Do you know that story?
No, I'm excited.
Oh, it's a great
I'll go look it up though after this.
Okay, it's a great, okay. So China recently, I don't know, 6 months ago, decided to use AI to create the back of a Barbie doll.
Okay.
And when Barbie, the movie came out, right? And so it created www.barbie.com. AI created that, put it on the back of the sheet. And if you go to that website, don't go to that website unless you want pornography on your computer. It is a pornography site.
Oh my God.
So
there you go.
There you go. It lies. The other one is the New York airplane that everybody knows, you know, where the gentleman who got hit with the beverage cart, and his attorney used ChatGPT and it made up.
Lied.
Yeah, it lied. It made up case law, right?
Fake cases.
So it's inherently biased. They typically sell to third-party vendors, meaning your next-door neighbor or another country or somebody that's out there to steal your identity. So we need to ensure that folks aren't using it recklessly, but we don't want them afraid of it either. I use it every day. Do you use it every day?
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Every day I have to use it. I'm not an exceptionally good writer. I'm staccato, right? I'm just like boom, boom.
Yeah.
And so to be nice in writing.
Please be compassionate when responding to this email.
I do. I tell it all the time.
It's so true.
Make me nice.
Yes. No, exactly. Well, Sherry, this has been truly nothing short of enlightening. I feel like I've learned so much from you in the last 35 minutes. What would you leave our audience with who may be listening to this and they haven't used AI daily? They're not using the tools that are available to them. What words of wisdom would you give?
Get your feet wet.
Get your feet wet.
Get your feet wet, but also do your research. There are all kinds of free learning resources about AI. Microsoft has them, Google has them, IBM has them, and they're all free.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn Learning has a bunch. If you are in Jefferson County, you can go to a public library and get access to LinkedIn Learning for free. Go and find out more. Educate yourself. It's not going away. It is who we are now. And what we see today is going to be dramatically different next month. And we, as people, need to make sure that we stay relevant in that community.
I love that. Sherry, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast. We will drop all of the links to the courses and the curriculum that Sherry shared today. Thank you for being our guest.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for listening to Go AI. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and review our podcast so we can continue to grow and offer more great AI content. If you're looking for digital marketing, digital transformation, or AI help, make sure you visit www.guardianowdigital.com. Have questions? Email team@guardianowdigital.com for answers. See you next time on Go AI.